Climate change is causing coastal erosion and salinisation of groundwater and lagoons in the Volta Delta region in Ghana. This has adversely affected fishing and the agricultural livelihoods of coastal communities. The lack of opportunities to earn a living locally has led to the migration of able-bodied males, leaving behind the highest proportion of female-headed households in Ghana. Women in the Volta region also experience land access challenges due to a patrilineal inheritance system. In patrilineal communities, land is inherited through the male lineage and property passes directly to sons. Women have secondary rights as they can only have access to it through their husbands and sons.
In our area, culturally, women don't inherit the land. They are just given access to work on the land. And in case of any issues, it is easily withdrawn.
Baraku anigba togbenya fa anigba kaka mala nuku onleji.
Na ba kwa mareto. Ajo wa meno te poto. Una hotefa va mana hotefa daka.
Climate change is really having effect in the Volta Delta. One way by which people are adapting to climate change is to migrate. So you tend to have the male moving, migrating, and leaving behind the female.
Because of the climate change, you know, we don't have any good rainfall pattern nowadays. And it's unfortunate, I have to tell you today, that we have this whole river lying out here, but women do not have access to the water because they cannot raise money to buy pipes. They cannot bring the water from where it is to their farms to be able to do irrigation farming.
Tape kesiele la agla adidi kakana gamala suwa plamachiun la matia wo entido keja egarasiu mi o mo gamale mi si utara ekemi ekebe de mi ajo ya mehie kafi akwa wode
2019 eshimeja nyeta na ba agleva amaka matin wo aglemanuku na wacho daba na ba do wa ma dibe yava
Barakwela na ma ba na nya ba kukhemu ba kpale fo na mi le yi mo ma enya na humrere kple arachi edo ala ba na ga doto aga dotare ga do pare.
For us to be able to improve the life of these women, there should be an alternative livelihood activity that should be channeled to these women. It can be in other forms of trade, other forms of handiworks that they can do.
To address the challenges of these women, a CDKN-funded project called Empowering Women and Transforming Gender Relations in the Volta Delta, Ghana, has been instituted. The University of Ghana Regional Institute for Population Studies RIPS is delivering the project, working in partnership with ProLink Ghana and Kulima Integrated Development Solutions. The project aims to empower women to be more resilient to the negative impacts of climate change. This is done through increasing women's capacity around land use and management through improving the capacities and skills of women in alternative livelihoods, business management and marketing, packaging of agricultural produce, access to regional markets, crop diversification, value addition to produce, and accessing microfinance for their businesses.
They are encouraging them to add a little value to the little that they produce on their farms. For instance, those that are doing cassava farming are encouraged to process the cassava into gari, and then even the gari should not be sold just on the local market in their bowls, but they should package it nicely so that they can sell it beyond the local market, so that there will be more value to it.
Soya gali toto. Enya ba tomato so odi gbagbara anyigba ale ke ko miawe adare nkekara na fayi na nya ba fafa iro miarerego adra oganye gaviare mi ha miaga kpole fanyi mo ma ofia mi mo kata ale miawe afia dare wo ko nkekama.
Also looking at the current COVID-19 pandemic with us now, we realized that apart from their farming, liquid soap, sanitizer, floor cleaners are on higher demand now. So we added that one to as a training for the women both in Keta and Sogakope, so that whilst they wait for their farm produce to mature, they can be doing these things for sale, so that at every point in time, the women have some resources to take care of their families.
Because of Ajalamano, Pogana, a cofra Jalamaye, one missy, a cordutala, one toy and adu, one malabo, one pogan. Because of no Ajalamalana, a lebenella, and then you go at a cockpovu to a powoji.
And then we have also linked the women to some credit facilities. Most of the women think that it is only the literate that can go to the bank to save and also access some loans. So the women have been trained, and we linked them to this rural banks and then financial institutions to encourage them to save and also patronize the services they have to be able to process their product or to be able to use the land more effectively.
We actually identified only the leaders of these groups where we have worked with these leaders. So it is our hope that these leaders will replicate the learnings that they have gained from the project onto their team members so that it can expand. And then also we have found out that the land secretariats and also the district assemblies are very key institutions to support women to be able to build their capacities. And so we have actually fallen on them to build the capacities of these women within the catchment areas that we're working.
At the training we did, the people were asking, what next? What next? You've empowered us as a group and also individually, but what is the next step?
These are sustainable groups. They've existed since time immemorial, and we have no doubt that they will continue to exist. So whatever programs we are doing, we are channeling it through them. And it's after the project, it's not going to end. We have established relationship with them, so we'll follow up with them on new products that will be coming up, and we'll also be monitoring to see how they are faring. So we have tied in the whole process, working with the assemblies, working with the Coastal Development Authority to be able to, as it were, improve on the well-being of these women.
Beyond this project, we will be engaging with local and then national stakeholders to present to them the findings and then the lessons from this project so that it can be taken up beyond the communities that we have engaged with.
I am the happiest woman to see these projects, to finally see my women being trained, being given these skills that though they have very basic knowledge of, they are being built up to be able to face the challenges of this economic hardship that we are all going through.
Na miakata ba mi ko jijoba fifia nya fa fukpekpe mu nwa ke ne mi ko de do na ma enwu acho na mi
na makoi na fifia nya ma va akpe nya fa chechi yawo nya fa group wa gbabo ede ami va sro de nya mi va mi we mi ho na akpe no ha na wo vi de todo tana vi wa lo nto ko director jana yo asikro jana yo nwa we ko yikwa godo va jire ko ha akpoga akokwa akpro mi ekpe mi afaview.
In the future, we'll have women in Keta and Sogakope not depending only on their irrigation fed or rain fed products, farm products or fish, but rather they have some other sort of livelihood, which is in terms of some kind of small skills which we have trained them on in soap making, and also being able to fall on their products which they have stored well or packaged well and be able to market it. And so these women will now be
economically empowered to be able to support the families that their husbands have left behind or their male counterparts have left behind for them to take care of because of the effects of climate change.